Evening, folks. Welcome back to the shop. Well, I just finished up part 2, build 2 of the air filtration system. So there's build 1. Walk over here real quickly. And here is build 2. A little different, as you can see, it's a different fan. Obviously, I'll link to it, but this was $10 more, $30 fan, but it actually has a CFM rating with it, so it pushes 2,000 CFM. It's 1,000 more than the Wen system I was looking at. And I think, I'll total it all up, but what I actually had to buy to do this project, both boxes has to be less than $150. Just because, all the screws and everything that I posted as, cost estimates, I have all those things. Almost any shop owner is going to have wood screws laying around. So this was dirt cheap. The two Wens would have cost 600 bucks thereabouts. And don't mind the beeping, my smart garage door is closing. So anyway, 600 bucks for the somewhat comparable Wen units. And for me, less than $150 out of pocket. Now, granted, these were a huge pain in the ass. The second build did go better than the first. Let me pop back over there. But my ceiling joists, so I measured, as you can see, I've got like multiple layers of ceiling joists here and ceiling joists here. And I only measured one set. So the second set were different than the other side of my garage. So when I got this up here, it did not fit. And that was disheartening. So you can see I've got some extra blocking going on, and this one, sits fully above the joist, whereas the other one comes down a little bit. And I like the one coming down a little bit. I feel like, maybe it's gonna help suck a little more air up, from lower down, but it's in reality probably not going to make a difference at all. And pop over here, I've got my smart switch in. So this is the Kasa smart switch. You can operate it like a standard switch, nothing special. Or, and this is where the, the argument for the Wen could have been made, but in fact it can't be made. So if you use okay, hopefully this is gonna look okay. So the Kasa app, you just, you add your devices to it, and then you just press the button, and away we go. Same thing to turn it off. And then if you actually press in on this, there is a timer feature, so you can set a timer just like the Wen. And the great thing is that I don't have to be within eyeshot to use this thing, as you would with the remotes that come with the pre-built store-bought units. Those are all, I assume they're IR, so it requires line of sight. Whereas this, as long as you have a cell signal or a Wi-Fi signal, you can use it. So I think this was the better solution. What I want to show real quick, I'm going to unplug each individual unit so that I can do a decibel rating, just to let you know roughly how loud it is when they're actually running. They're noticeable. Anyway, back in a moment. Okay, so unit 2 is unplugged. Let's turn this on. All right, so our baseline looks like 40. All right, let's turn this guy on. Okay, 65. Be back in a moment after I unplug the first one, plug the second one in. All right, turning on the second unit only. All right, so about 65 for both. Just to my ears, the second one sounds a little louder, but I mean, they're both kind of loud if you're just in here working, but you know, I don't anticipate leaving them on the entire time. So overall, pain in the butt to build. I don't know. Not exactly fun, rewarding, I guess, but certainly cost effective if you've got the time. And you know, with COVID, a lot of us do have some time, so glad I did it. And you know, the cost of filters for these is dirt cheap, you know, compared to a when wanted. Although I do understand that you can buy, you know, cheaper generic filters and not purchase them through the Wen brand. But anyway, I mean, if anything goes wrong with these, if they explode or just don't seem to be working well, I'll certainly update the channel. But I think I've got a solution here. So good night, everyone, and until next time, farewell. So you know what I realized? I didn't give you a decibel reading with both of them running, so I'll turn these on and kind of stand in the middle of them, I guess. Alright, so wasn't that a thrilling addendum? Anyway, so it doesn't get that much worse in here with both of them on. Now, really, until next time, farewell. Hello everyone, a quick second addendum. So I realized there was something I left off the original bill of materials, and so I thought I would show you where that was going to fit in to the plan. So there was one joint where I needed, or at least felt like I needed, to use wooden dowels to make the connection rather than screws. I'm sure you could have done it with screws. It was just going to take a lot more work, so, and a lot more care. So I just thought I'd do wooden dowels. So I'll add that to the bill of materials, but I wanted to show you where I was actually putting that. So this is Rhino 3D. It's a software I use to design the box. And let me just turn off some stuff that we don't need. Okay, I think that's good enough. So if I spin this around, see it a little better. So this joint here, you know, MDF can be a bit brittle. So getting a screw all the way through this piece into this piece was going to be risky as far as splitting this wood. So, you know, the much easier thing to do is just glue this, and I basically glued every joint. You know, I used that construction adhesive because all of these joints need to be airtight so that you're forcing that air to come in through the filter and not, you know, through any gaps in your joints. So anyway, this joint here, glued, and then used two 1.5-inch wooden dowels to make this connection strong. So that was the only place on the build that I used that. But just wanted to point that out, since I was going to put it in the bill of materials, and you know, it might not have been obvious where those went. This is the final addendum to this video. Good night and farewell.